Acción, tu revista mensual de cine y series, con los mejores estrenos de cine, fichas y reportajes coleccionables, series de televisión y 4 pósters todos los meses. Búscala en tu kiosco.
Cine magazine.
Hello.
And first of all, congrats for this second season, this amazing second season.
Thank you.
I was talking to Jorge and Ram about the season, and I had the feeling that this isn't a second season, but a continuation, a direct continuation of the first story. And I don't know how you feel about it, being both of you being the characters that are coming back this season.
What, that it isn't?
A continuation of the first season that is not as a second season, but it's
Oh, yeah,
chapter 6 and chapter 7.
Yeah.
Continuing after chapter 6, we have chapter 7 that I don't have the feeling that the first season ended and now we have another story.
Yes,
that
yes. Sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah.
There's a thread.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
I think it's like the serpent eating its tail, isn't it? It's like, this is Maggie and Arthur, really.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing cycle that it's never, well, I'm not going to say it's never going to end, but it's something that's ongoing, and it's a kind of mutual interdependence. They're codependent now. They're codependent through crime. They're codependent through various things. They're codependent through the past. And I thought it was exciting to. Also, I don't know how much I can say. That's the problem, is that Arthur has. Can I say this? I don't know. Maybe Arthur has 2 Maggies. Sounds very strange.
Yeah.
But he has a Maggie in his mind. I don't know if I can say that now, so somebody can hit me. And the Maggie who exists. So that's an interesting dynamic psychologically for Arthur. It's a very fragile territory for him, the whole question of Maggie. It's a very frightening, terrifying, infuriating area for him, which prompts him to do a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like physicalized for your character, but I think that's probably present for Maggie too.
Yeah.
Like the idea of Arthur and who he actually is. I think as well, like at the beginning of the series, like they have space from each other, whereas Antarctica is very they're sharing the same space, and that brings up its own dynamics. Whereas season 2, there is some separation, and so I think that allows for the fantasy of who the other person is to kind of grow into something quite terrifying and twisted for both of them.
There's that wonderful scene it's a wonderful scene, it was wonderfully written. That wonderful scene in episode 1 with the seal.
Oh, yeah.
When they're both outside, and it's very, very early on in season 1 when Arthur says empathy will get you killed, that she's been separated from her mother, she's going to die, she's never going to make, the seal is going to die. And it's very interesting because to me, I often, even in season 2, I thought about that scene because it says a lot about what's hidden from each other, because he's actually talking to someone who really
knows him
yeah. And understands and has a whole viewpoint on empathy, which is very far from what he thinks he's seeing in this young woman. So, yeah.
Without revealing too much, I have the feeling that both characters haunt each other on this new season. Of course, after the ending, even more. But I don't want to tell anything about how the season ends. But I think it's great. But I have the feeling that both characters are haunting each other.
Helping each other.
Hunting?
Haunting. Yeah.
The bus is haunting.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Even sometimes they are not at the same place.
Yeah.
And with a different energy, because, season 1, Maggie has like a very set plan, and quite early in season 2, it unravels, and so that kind of the control and the environment that it's happening in shifts dramatically, which I think just feeds the hunt and the frenzied kind of like desperation.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you have a white male being hunted by a young woman, and it's an interesting dynamic it has a pertinence beyond the borders of our series, you know. And I think it's very interesting that it isn't easily solved and it doesn't easily go away. It's ongoing, and it's ongoing through 2, you know. So it's strong.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
There is also a great dynamic this new season that is the father-daughter relationship. How's been that for you? Because it's something completely new for the show.
I mean, it's been great. Even just hearing you talking, I'm realizing like it is their world, and like Rachel is just in the crossfire of it. All these characters that accidentally find themselves in between these two is the trigger of everything. And I think that's why even our relationship, like my character doesn't really know about Maggie other than what she's seen on the telly, and doesn't even really know about Arthur other than what her mother's told her and what she's seen on the telly. So the version that Rachel meets is very much a new man because, you know, like John said, his character has been in jail for a year. A lot of stuff happens. So the season 1 version of Arthur you see doesn't exist for Rachel. And so we follow somebody completely accepting that this is who he is, not knowing about that other side, not knowing about this version of him, that when they are together in a room or miles apart but know about each other, the risk and danger that gets, you know, it's mad. I'm again not realizing this now, but all these people in season 1 and season 2 that get in the crossfire of you guys, the only people that end up having tragedy happen mainly is the people in the middle. And you guys aren't even hitting each other. You're not even making it to each other. And I guess by the end, you know, Rachel's realizing that too, that she's in the crossfire.
And also all the letters that he writes. It's kind of an obsessive letter writing that he writes to Rachel when he's in prison. And one of the letters is used in a voiceover in episode 4. And if only Rachel had opened those letters, it would have given her and everybody else an insight into something quite dark.
That she just didn't.
No.
And she opened it. But it's that stubbornness.
Yeah.
Rachel doesn't want to know her father until she's plucked out of her life and into his.
And the actor between both of them is a victim. Someone that is going to suffer. The one that is going between both of them, right?
Yeah, the suffering that they cause, and the chain reaction of what that, you know, people. What I love about the second season, and in the first season as well, when you're in that crossfire and you're dealing with that suffering, the suffering continues out. You start hurting other people. You start becoming as cruel and as cold as these other characters have been hardened to be, which is, you know, fascinating.
Well, again, congratulations. It's been an amazing second season. I watched the 6th episode last night.
Wow.
Nice.
I couldn't stop watching it.
Nice.
But now I need more.
Yeah.
Because after that ending, I need to know more. I need to know how it goes.
Yeah.
Because that can be the end for those characters. It's an amazing show, and congratulations.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
so
much.
glad you enjoyed it.
Glad you enjoyed
Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have to ask you for a small favor. I have a small thing you made a few years ago. If you can.
Ah, wow. Wow, it's a great image, isn't it?
Yes, it's an amazing art.
Wow, it's amazing.
I love this.
the name of the
I love
father.
your character.
Ah,
Why
thank
you
you.
did with that, so I think
so.
it's amazing. You want to sign it in the
Have you watched
In the front?
Yes, of course.
Let's go
In the
watch
middle.
it.
Acción, tu revista mensual de cine y series, con los mejores estrenos de cine, fichas y reportajes coleccionables, series de televisión y 4 pósters todos los meses. Búscala en tu kiosco.